Hi, I'm Siobhan from Black Swan First Aid Training. Today I'm going to talk to you about what to do if your child is bitten by a snake. So this involves applying the pressure immobilization technique, which is a pressure bandage applied to the limb. We can use the same pressure immobilization technique for a cone shell sting or a bite from a blue-ringed octopus. We can also use it in the case of insect sting for anaphylactic individuals, so a life-threatening allergic reaction from an ant bite, a wasp sting or a bee sting. We could apply the same pressure bandage. So we're applying the bandage to the limb, the affected limb. But before we go through that, I'd like to also say it's very important to stay calm. And I'm not just talking about you, mum, dad, grandma, grandpa, carer. The child also needs to stay nice and calm, which is easier said than done. But if we can distract them and reassure them, it helps to prevent the flow of toxin around the body. When we apply the bandage, we need a small piece of absorbent dressing to go over the bite site and hopefully soak up some of the venom. In hospital, they might use an identification kit to find out what type of snake it is. Essentially, doesn't matter what type of snake it is, we treat them all as venomous. We don't need to catch them and take them into hospital. They don't actually appreciate that. But similarly, don't try and suck the venom out, don't try and cut and bleed the venom, don't wash the venom site, the bite site. We're just placing an absorbent dressing over the bite site and then applying our pressure bandage over the top. So if the bite was halfway along the arm, we would be applying the pressure bandage over the bite site, directly over the bite site, like so, nice and firm so that you can only fit one finger in between the bandage and the limb. Once we'd covered that area, we would cut the bandage and tape the bandage to secure it. We're then going from the end of the limb all the way up to the lymph nodes, to the armpit or to the groin if it's the leg. So I'm just going to demonstrate on the leg for you. So if we were bandaging the leg, we would put the dressing over the bite site and then apply our pressure bandage. Leave the toes exposed or the fingers if it's the arm you're bandaging so that we can check the circulation. This is not a tourniquet. We don't want to be cutting the circulation off, but it does need to be really firm. We can mark the bite site with a pen to indicate where that absorbent dressing is underneath, and then apply this, stretching slightly so that we've got a nice firm compression bandage and overlapping half the width every time we wrap around so that it's on double thickness. But we're only going up once. Careful we're not trapping anything. And then once we've applied the bandage up to the lymph nodes, we would cut the bandage and tape the bandage, make sure that it's secure. Just going to tuck that in there for the sake of the demonstration. And we're going to apply a splint. So we can use a purpose-made splint like the SAM splint. We can use a piece of timber. Newspaper and magazines work beautifully. So long as they're curved, then they're nice and rigid, they resist flexion. But we need to pad splints so that we've not got any pressure on the casualty's tissue for any length of time. So this splint's to prevent movement of the limb, to keep the casualty nice and comfortable. I'm then using a crepe bandage, which we use for splinting, to go over the top. And incidentally, if you haven't got bandages, then we can use strips of clothing or any other fabric that we can find to apply compression. We could even just secure one leg to the other to immobilize the limb. So once we've applied that splint, again, we're just reassuring our casualty. Of course, we'll have called for the ambulance and we can monitor our child while we're waiting for the ambulance to arrive. Thank you again for your time. If you found these videos useful, please follow me on Facebook. I'll be uploading more information on what to do in other emergency situations. Thank you and take care.